just on the way to the gym. Got my water. I'm going to show you a little bit of my workout, and then I am going to jog back, which takes me around 25 minutes. Sorry guys, I put some weight on. Alright, so I'm going to do a 3-mile jog. I usually like to do it at the start. Now I think it was about 5-6 years ago, I used to do my workout first, my weight session. I used to warm up, do my weight session, and then do like a 2-3 mile jog at the end. A very like jogging, slow pace. And to be honest, that used to work. So some people like to do it at the start, some people like to do it at the end. But for some reason, I just like to crack on at the start. So that's what I'm about to do. 3-mile jog is done. I'm going to go do a circuit now. For about 35 minutes, non-stop power presses, power cleans, standing presses, and so many more other compound exercises. And then I'll close off with some the abs, and then a jog back. Alright, check this out, it's raining, but I'm gonna jog back 25 minutes. Let's go. Alright, so today I think I'm going to show you some behind the scenes of me taking some questions from my private clients. I think that will be an interesting watch for you guys today. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Apart from showing you all the boring meetings and stuff like that. Okay, so guys, I don't know if you can see me or not, but this is what I'm going to do today. I've been to the gym already, and I thought I've got a couple of meetings lined up today, but I thought instead of taking you to my meetings, it might be a little bit boring for you. Thought I'd make it a little bit interesting and exciting. So this is not something I usually do. So I've got like a private inner community where I do private mentoring with winners. So I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes where they're going to be asking me some questions and you can listen into them. So and get to see what sort of questions are getting asked. I personally genuinely don't know what questions they are at this stage, and you might find it useful and helpful, and see how I answer them. So just give me a minute. I'm gonna get started like in probably 3-4 minutes, and then and like I said, I don't know what the questions are, and yeah, it might be a question someone asks and you might be struggling with the same question in your business or in your life or whatever. So you'll find it helpful. I really didn't want to do this from where I normally do it, so I wanted to come into a different location where I feel good. It's a beautiful place, and for those that follow me and for those that met me, I do all my business masterminds from here. I do my business networking events from here, so it's a beautiful place. And when you are in a beautiful place, like, you just feel 10 times better. And this is why it's super important for some of you that are watching this. Look at the environments that you're working in right now, like your office. Is it bringing you happiness and joy, or is it bringing you sadness and misery? If it's doing the latter, then you need to change your environment in terms of where you're working, just to freshen things up and bring some good energy in and get rid of the stale energy from that room. So coming to new environments just sometimes can lift you that 10-15%, and sometimes that's all you need to perform at your best. Okay, we'll get started in a second. Hey, welcome guys, welcome. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just wait a few minutes. I think we've got 5-6 of you here. We'll wait till we've got another, I think 3-4 are coming, and then we will get started. So I'll give you like 60 seconds or so and I'll be back. Give me a minute. Also, I just wanted to say that I think I've done a reel. I don't know if I've released it or not. There is magic in group coaching, because when you have a group coaching program, don't get me wrong, like when you do one-on-one, you're always going to give the person more attention because it's all about them, and it's a lot more better. One-to-one is always better. But don't knock group coaching, because when you are in a group setting, firstly, you've got other people that are on a similar journey. Then you may miss something and they may pick it up. Or someone may ask something and it may trigger something. Think, oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I didn't think of it like that. So it's just so helpful that when you're in a group setting, there's a lot of good things that can come out of it. So just never ever knock it. When you apply to work with a coach or a mentor, if you realize they do group coaching, sometimes that can be very valuable. Like right now, I'm in a few group coaching programs, like for myself, and trust me, I found them really valuable. And it's always, whenever I jump on a call, like someone asks something and I think, oh, I didn't even think of that. Like I should have thought about that. So guys, thank you for joining me today. So just some house rules. This is what we'll do. You can ask me whatever, as usual, but no waffling. Get straight to the questions. I know some of you, I think, sent some pre-questions. I can't find where they are. If I do, I'll answer them as well. Please, like some of you, I can't see your faces, so put the video, show your faces. I just don't like speaking to blank screens. I understand if you're in hospital or you're in bed or something, but I doubt it. So put your cameras on. It's just so much better energy, and I'll be able to give you my 100% as well. No one likes speaking to blank screens, right? So with that said, you have 60 minutes with me today, and fire away. Let me know what your first question is. You can hear me properly, right? All of you, yeah.
Yes, hi. My question is, how would you like to be remembered and what is your legacy?
Wow, that is a very, very deep question. Okay, so firstly, I feel like that question should be asked to a 60-year-old me, not a 30-year-old in my 30s. I'm in my 30s. I've never. Let me have a think about that on the spot. So legacy is something I've always attached to. I don't think, I think I've skimmed through that thought, but I don't think I've actually sat down and literally thought about what is my legacy going to be. And maybe that's because I have no kids, I'm not married, I live on my own, I have businesses, and I'm living in a very fast-paced lifestyle, right? And I've genuinely just not thought about what my, legacy is going to be like in terms of what I want people to remember me as if when I pass away. And I take it that's where it's, like I said, it's a very deep question. But thinking about it, I'll tell you what I want people to remember me as. And that could be like in day to day when I meet them, or someone I have a conversation with, or something like that. So it's definitely 100% want them to, let's just say I spend 5 minutes with somebody, right? And I want them to walk away from that conversation feeling energized, one, two, thinking, wow, like what he told me, like I've never thought of it like this. Have a good impact on them where they feel like once they have that conversation with me, like they can go and run through any wall and go and achieve their goals, right? So, and ultimately for me, it's about, like, I know this word of helping people, like it's a bit of a buzzword, everybody uses it. Like I genuinely want people to feel like I've impacted them, their families, or their finances in some sort of a way where that this time they've spent with them, they walked away thinking more strategically, thinking in more ways of making money, and thinking of having a better lifestyle for themselves where they feel and are better after the conversation they've had with me. Does that make sense? So I feel like that's the answer to your question. In terms of like on a deeper level, what I would do is I would ask you to maybe ask me that question in maybe 12 months or 2 years, or when I've, maybe got some kids or something like that, I genuinely believe that my answer will be very, very different. So yeah. Well, thank you for the question. Wow, what a question, by the way. So who has the next question?
So, question I'd like to ask you is, what does a typical day look like for you? And do you have any routines that has improved your performance?
Interesting. Okay, so firstly, genuinely, like every day looks slightly different for me from midday onwards. In terms of in the morning, I believe, yeah, I pretty much do the same thing. So I'll wake up in the morning very casually, like I don't have a strict time. Usually it's between, I would say, again, it depends on what I'm doing, but I'm just going to give you like a general example. Like it's between probably 6 and half 7. Okay, so I will get up between 6 and half 7. The first thing I will do is I will drink some water with my electrolytes. I'll go through that routine and then I'll, sort myself out. But again, I'm not rushing. It's very with the flow. I'm probably, just messing around here, messing around there. In terms of, there's a very casual process of me waking up, okay? I do sometimes go on my phone as well. It's not that I've got a policy where no phones, no. It just depends. Like if my phone's gone off, like I will go on it just to see what's going on. I won't necessarily reply to anyone, but I will like casually just have a look at it. That's one thing I will definitely do. Then from there, I make my way towards the gym. And usually in the gym, I'm spending about an hour and a half. My first, I would say 20-25 minutes is all about mobility. It's all about, just warming up. I'll get into the workout. And then from the gym, and again, this is like a typical day, right? So obviously if I'm going to London or if I'm traveling or somewhere, then it changes slightly in terms of I do get up a little bit earlier. From the gym, I usually walk back or jog back, which usually takes me between 25 and 30 minutes. And the reason I do that is for 3 reasons. One is it forces me to get my steps in, number one. Number two, for me, it's very important that I put myself through a little bit more uncomfortability because like I'm blessed with so many good things and I have a car and I have a driver on demand if I need one. I have so many good things going for myself and I don't want to lose sight of that. So what I would do is if it's rain, snowing, and it's happened many times, like this morning it was actually raining, and I will power through coming back in terms of, and it's been many days where I've come back and I'm soaking, but the whole point of that exercise is one, I've got my steps in, two, I'm putting myself through some uncomfortability, three, I can't think of the third one. There is definitely another reason for that as well. Anyway, then I'll get back, I'll have something to eat, and then casually I'll start work around 10, between 10 and 11, depending on what's happening. And then I'll get into whatever's happening that day. So I usually know from the night before, but some things I also do plan on the day. Like I am a very much kind of go with the flow. Like however my energy feels, that's what I will do. If my energy feels like I don't want to do it, then I won't take up that meeting. I will cancel it last minute. I will do these sort of things. But most of the times it's like how I feel, that's what I will do. If it's one thing that's helped my performance, I would say the way I measure performance is literally from what I watch to what I read to what I eat, to who I watch, who I allow to call me, who I call. Like all these things I would include in that, and then plus my supplements. I have a nutritionist who I'm working closely with also, so like I really make sure I get my macros in, my supplements in, all the deficiencies that I have. So these are the things that make up my performance of how I perform every single day. I do a lot of reading, I do a lot of studying. For me, number one, it's all about mind and health, making sure I put that first. And because I take that so seriously and so strictly, it kind of follows through in everything else that I do. But yeah, I hope that answered your question. Yeah, can I get some pineapple juice with no ice. And could I get also a coffee? Let me just think what coffee. Get me a cappuccino, please. Thank you. Okay, so I changed locations because one, was feeling a little peckish, wanted some coffee, and also ran out of battery. So battery was low, so I thought I'll come near a charger in case we need to charge something. So that's why I moved locations. So
Just wanted to ask, when you're sending out proposals, would you put the figure on there of how much you're charging, or would you just send your proposal and then wait for them to get back to you so you can negotiate, or do you just put that straight away? Do you put your terms and conditions with it straight away? And then my next question is, do you think it's important for us to have like a space in our home, which is our workspace? Rather than we're just kind of working wherever.
wow, okay, that is a really good question. That you asked me a few questions there, but they are great questions. So, firstly, when I send out terms and conditions or heads of terms or my contract, it depends if I put the price on it. It totally depends on what stage I'm at on the conversation. If someone's asking me at the very early stage of just inquiring about what's going on, like, I'm not going to send my prices, because at that point I'm just trying to figure out even if we're a good fit or not. With me, out of 100, I'll turn 98 people away just because I don't have a startup program. I work with established business owners who are already killing it basically, and they just need that a little bit more extra clarity and just figure out how they can go from 10 grand a month to 50 grand a month or 100 grand a month. I'm dealing with a completely different kettle of fish, where a lot of people are dealing with working with people who are in the startup phase. So for me, it depends what level, where you are, what stage of the conversation. So if you're at the very early stage, I wouldn't put the price. I would just figure out if you're a good fit or not. And then once it gets to the point where you figured out, yes, you are a good fit, then it's no point wasting time. Say, well, here are my prices. Here, which option would you like to go for? So, I take it you will have one or you won't have just one option, you will have two options, and it's always good to have two options for people so they can then decide which one they are going to go for. So always do that. It's fine, yeah, don't worry, you can. Thank you. Thank you. So let's just say like someone's inquired about a specific thing that's on my website, for example. They want me to come for public speaking. It's going to be 30 minutes. They want me to deliver a keynote, and they just want a simple price. So then I will put my price. Well, that's different because they've already seen the criteria on my website. So based on what they've seen, they've then submitted a form because they still want my services. So in that case, it will be, here's my price, here's my cost. Let me know if you're in or not. Simple as that. So it all depends on where you are on the scale of conversation. Are you at the beginning and they don't know who you are, or they know who you are? And I always say, most of you in here, get your marketing right. If you get your marketing right, your sales will become very, very easy. The beautiful thing about getting your marketing right is that you don't have to go into too much details about your product, about your sales, because it already happened in the marketing. That's what I would say. The second question was, is it important for us to have a space in our workplace, at home or somewhere where we work? Of course it is. 100% that is super, super important. If you're the type of person who's going to just wake up and then open your laptop from your bedroom, unless it's just something that what, if you're responding to an email or something is just urgent, well, that's a different story. But to set up a meeting or something like what I'm doing, like, it's really important that place needs to be a happy place, right? That needs to be your happy hour or happy hours. Your environment is everything, right? So if you like flowers, go and get some flowers from the range or B&Q or wherever, and go and spend £10-15 and go and have them in your room, right? Your workplace is supposed to give you so much energy. You really look forward to going there. If you're the type of person who wants to have a workplace full of clutter and that's your thing, and that's fine. I wouldn't recommend that, but yeah, a workplace has to be, I feel, in my opinion, has to be dedicated to where you work from, and it brings you like your vision board needs to be there, and you know, your favorite quotes need to be there, and people that inspire you, they need to be somewhere in there, right? Because all that will only bring the best out in you. In my place, for example, I'll give you an example. So I have an office where I work from. I have a separate room where I sometimes go and read from. I call that the thinking room. Sometimes I go in there just to make strategic decisions and think and be like, ooh, like, let me go in the thinking room and do it. And sometimes if I'm in my work office, like in my work environment, working from there, and I've been there for 2-3 hours and I'm feeling a little bit like I have less energy, just going in the thinking room, that other room, it'll just lift my energy up by 10 or 15 or 20%. Highly recommend having a dedicated space, and if you can have 2, even better. And look, sometimes you don't need, if you have a small house or whatever, you don't need another room. You could simply have another chair, right? And that chair could be something that can bring the best out in you. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. Okay, gonna have this coffee before we go into the next question.
2 hours later.
They were some good, deep questions there, right? Now, I don't think we'll show you all the questions just because, like, I feel like each question and answer was like 10 minutes or something. And if I went through all of them, you'll be watching this vlog for like over 2 hours. So what I've done is I've took away the first 3 questions and you can listen to them. And the other questions, I've recorded them and I'll probably release it like in the coming weeks or something. Just so the vlog breaks up and you're not sat there watching the questions for like, I don't know, like 2 hours or something. But I hope you found this super valuable and the questions good. And if you want me to do more stuff like that, where I show you behind the scenes what people are asking, I'm more than happy to do that. Apart from that, I've got a couple of meetings, I've got a couple of things going on, so I just thought I'll change things up a little bit and show you something a little bit different. But yeah, don't forget, I have a business mastermind 1 day live in person. In this place it is, by the way. I literally do it in here. Coming up on the 21st of June, Friday 21st of June. So if you can make that, go and press the link down there and purchase your ticket. And it will be really, really good to meet you in person and see how I can help you and support you in your journey of business and growth. So yeah, it will be really good to meet you. So check that out. Apart from that, I'm going to enjoy my coffee. Thank you for watching as always. Yeah, please do let me know if you prefer this sort of content as well, so I can switch it up sometimes. I'll see you on the next vlog.